Forged in the gene laboratories of Terra, the Space Marines were more than men. Genetically enhanced warriors bred for conquest, precision, and absolute obedience. Where the Thunder Warriors shattered old Earth with brute force, the Space Marines would bring entire star systems to heel with discipline and design. These were not weapons of desperation, they were to be instruments within the galaxy. But fighting among the stars demanded new tools. Tools that could survive the void, alien atmospheres, and the ever-changing conditions of war. The first great technological leap came with the development of the Mark II power armor, also known as the Crusade Armor. It accompanied the Space Marine legions as they expanded beyond Terra during the earliest phase of the Great Crusade. But to understand the birth of this armor, we must turn our gaze towards Mars and the rise of the Mechanicum. During the Wars of Unification and the formation of the Imperium, another power rose on the Red Planet, the Mechanicum. Technologically advanced and devout in the worship of the machine god, the Omnissiah, the Mechanicum believed that knowledge was divine, a technology a form of sacred expression. The Emperor, recognizing the value of an alliance, forged a pact with the Mechanicum. In return for access to forbidden and ancient technologies, the Mechanicum would join the Great Crusade. This alliance enabled the mass production of the Mark II armor on Mars and marked a turning point in the evolution of the Legionis Astartes. The Mark II armor was a marvel of its time. It featured hoop-shaped articulated ceramite plates, microscopic almond-shaped rings layered under and over one another. These linked plates offered flexibility while maintaining formidable protection, especially across the chest and legs. Unlike the Thunder armor, the Mark II was fully self-contained, with built-in life support, fluid recovery, and air recycling systems housed in its backpack unit, an evolution of the original design. This allows Space Marines to fight in the vacuum of space and in hostile alien environments. Power was distributed more efficiently thanks to the additional energy conduits running to the legs. The chest coils, now fully enclosed within the suit, benefited from an advanced internal cooling system. The helmet was another breakthrough. Equipped with automatic sensory devices, it could process visual and auditory data and deliver it directly to the wearer's brain via a neural interface. The helmet allowed for infrared and ultraviolet vision, sound enhancement, and even dampened blinding or deafening stimuli, protecting the wearer from sensory overload. Crusade armor was heavily used by legions like the Death Guard and the Iron Warriors, who favored its stoic and utilitarian design. While it was eventually supplanted by more advanced patterns such as the Mark IV, some legions like the White Scars continued to use it well into the latter years of the Great Crusade due to their distance from Imperial supply lines. Horus's manipulation of the supply lines during the Heresy ensured traitor legions received the newest armor, while loyalists were often left with older marks like the Mark II. In the 41st millennium, Mark II suits are virtually extinct as battlefield gear, but they remain as treasured relics. Some chapters like the Consecrators, known for wielding ancient artifacts, or the Carcharodons, whose armor is often a patchwork of different marks, may still possess and maintain Mark II suits, either as ceremonial relics or functional heritage wargear. As the Great Crusade wore on, Space Marines encountered situations that demanded even greater protection. Close quarters tunnel fighting and boarding actions in the void. These perilous scenarios led to heavy casualties, which in turn prompted the development of the Mark III iron armor. This armor was a reinforced variant of the Mark II, with added plating on the greaves, forearms, chest, thighs, and helmet. The front-facing armor was significantly heavier to absorb direct hits, while the rear plating was lightened to balance the weight, making it unsuitable for open battlefield operations but perfect for brutal, head-on assaults. The helmet featured slope plates to deflect incoming fire, and the shoulder pauldrons were enlarged for added coverage. Internally, many of its systems were unchanged from Mark II, further emphasizing that this was a specialized adaptation rather than a full replacement. The iron armor was used heavily during the Horus Heresy, especially in void warfare and boarding actions as the traitor fleet advanced from Iswan to Terra. Thousands of capital ships were lost in these grim battles. Many fought within the tight corridors of hive cities and underground fortress complexes. Certain legions grew particularly fond of the Mark III. Loyalist legions like the Space Wolves, Dark Angels, and Imperial Fists found it well suited to their aggressive siege-heavy combat styles. On the traitor side, the Death Guard and Iron Warriors, masters of attrition warfare, Embrace it for its unmatched frontal protection. Iron armor would become an infamous symbol of corruption, forming the foundation of the grotesque suits worn by the Plague Marines in the millennia that followed. Though no longer standard issue, relic suits of Mark III armor still see some use. Characters like Sergeant Antara Kronos of the Ultramarines is often depicted in a modified Mark III suit. Baal Shar, a Karkaradan warrior, also dons a mix of Mark III and Mark IV, with intricate designs etched into the armor's surface, echoing his tattoos. His armor features bronze pauldrons, exile honor markings, and a reinforced jagged Mark III helmet crest, symbolizing both legacy and dread. The Mark II was the beginning, a suit forged for the stars, clad in the ambition of a new Imperium. The Mark III, its brutal cousin, was built for the deadliest of battles, where light was scarce and death was certain. Together, they carried the Emperor's will across the galaxy, one war zone at a time. But war is ever hungry. Armor must adapt, just as warriors do.